You want me to tell you a joke?
Tell me one.
So, let's say we have an aircraft, right? One airplane.
All right.
This one airplane has 100 bricks on it.
Okay.
100 bricks stacked on top of it, flying through
Is
the
it
air.
a joke or a fucking riddle?
This is either.
Okay.
Flying through the air.
Okay.
One brick falls off of the aircraft. How many bricks are left on the aircraft?
99.
Great. That's great. I'm glad you got that right.
All right.
That's epic. All right. How do you get an elephant inside of a refrigerator?
You don't.
No, you do. You open the door. You take all the shelves and everything out. You stick the elephant in there. You close the door. Boom. Elephant's in the refrigerator.
Okay. Big refrigerator.
Yeah, big.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's up to interpretation.
All right.
Now, here's a little quirk. How do you stick a giraffe in the refrigerator?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Pull the elephant out. Put the giraffe in.
Put the giraffe in. Beautiful.
We're using the same fridge, I'm assuming.
Yeah, same thing.
We got one big fridge.
Yeah, one big.
All right.
It's massive.
All right, we got to take that elephant out. All right.
All right. So a lion.
Okay.
Big lion.
All right.
King of the jungle, some would say.
I mean, he is.
By far, it's not even really a jungle.
It's not. It's more like.
He's having a party.
Oh, okay.
He invites everybody. What's the one animal that doesn't show up?
The giraffe. He's locked in the
He's
fucking
stuck
fridge.
in the fucking fridge, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then you have a crocodile-infested water, right? Some would say the Nile River, right? Not a fun time.
The Nile.
Right? You have a lady trying to cross the river.
Uh-huh.
She crosses the river.
Okay.
How does she get to the other side and touch the ladder, but then she dies? As soon as she touches the ladder, she dies. So many alligators, also an option.
She gets across.
She gets across.
I can tell me the brick hit her.
The brick hit her in the fucking head.
That's a lot of bullshit for a brick falling out the sky. But Micah Blanchard, everyone.
Yeah, that's my name.
It's been a long time.
8 years, probably 9 years.
Maybe longer, dude.
Yeah, because it's I just moved back here 3 years ago, and then been gone ever since. But I fly.
Disappeared. Not disappeared, but disappeared.
Oh, disappeared.
Yeah, disappeared. What year?
2015.
2015. Mm-hmm. Went to the Air Force.
Mm-hmm. Thought I was cool and shit.
It was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it was. I went I was working at
mm-hmm.
left from there, went to and when I was leaving, like hey, they were like laying off a bunch of people at the time. So I was like, well, I don't want to be
2015.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to be laid off. So
end of 2015.
Yeah, so that's when all this stuff was like really happened, but it was like earlier, like February. So late 2014, so like December, when they were like, hey, we're looking at laying off people. And I was like, oh, okay, well. And they were kind of like saying like, hey, you don't have any, not saying like to like family, but I didn't have like kids and a wife to support. So they were like, hey, like we're looking at getting rid of people because of times and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, well, and at that exact point in time, I was like, I'm joining the Air Force. Yeah. And they were like, oh, well, you can just stay till you join. So at that point, I had no other option but to go talk to a recruiter. So then I was like, so what do I do now?
Yeah, we're keeping everybody with families.
Yeah, but you single, get out of here, So then I had to go talk to a recruiter. Mm-hmm. So I go talk to a recruiter. And he was in Baton Rouge, do the whole thing, take my ASVAB or pre-ASVAB, whatever, do my little physical. We go down to the MEPS in New Orleans. And there's when I found out about what the military is all about, is that exact point when I was in a room full of dudes with just some underwear and we were walking like ducks around, and
Hell
then a bunch of other grown men looking at you.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, wow, I've never been more turned on in my life.
Yeah, I've seen that video before.
There's a couple different avenues you can go. Then you have to go from there. Once you pass that, you have to go to a proctologist who's in the next room. So then you go, yeah, he's strapped up. And you literally bend over in front of him, and you spread your cheeks. And he's like, he just gets in there, diddles a little bit, and he's like, you're good. And I'm like, oh, great.
Were you good?
Yeah, I was good.
Oh, nice.
I was
Good.
So then after that, you have to put your clothes on. You go back and you put all your stuff on, and you go through the rooms. You do like an eye test and a hearing test and all this other stuff. And that's when I found out I have depth perception issues. So like I'm looking down on the little thing, and she's like, all right, which one's higher? A through E, like B, C, D, whatever. So I'm looking. I was like, they all look the same. So I was like, C. She's like, how about E? And I'm like, E? She's like, yeah, good. And then went through the next one, and every one, like, dude, I was off.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, how about this, or how about that? So that, shout out to that girl. Don't know her name, but hell yeah.
She helped you.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because if you fail that, then you like lose a list of jobs like immediately that you can't do.
Yeah.
So then,
it's like people that fly, they tend to see good.
Yeah. Well, like depth perception wise, as far as like in-flight refuelers and stuff, like it would limit me to like a very few, like maybe like finance and other stuff,
Yeah.
It's like no like maintenance, like hands-on stuff.
Yeah, imagine doing finances for the government.
Well, nobody knows those numbers anyway. So you just put whatever in
It's
it.
just fake numbers.
Yeah. There's no like money sign in the front of it. It's just pick a number and send it. Like there's no.
Today we're doing this.
Yeah, we're doing this amount. But so then after that, I have to go take you sleep in a hotel. The next morning you go and you take your ASVAB, like your score to get in. So I go in, and like the harder your questions get, that means the better you're doing, right? So if like your math questions go from 2 + 2 to 2 × 2 to like what's the square root of whatever, you're doing the right thing. But if they get easier, then you're fucking up, So then you kind of can tell like which way you're going. But like my questions kept getting considerably harder in both math, science, like English, everything like kept getting harder. And I was like, how am I supposed to answer this? Like I'm not saying I got lucky, but kind of.
But the duck may swim in the lake.
But my daddy owns the lake. Yeah. But ended up with a 91 on my ASVAB. So I was like, oh, I can get almost any job. So then went back to the recruiter, did the whole thing. And I was like, I want to be a drone pilot. Or a drone pilot sensor, since I'm not an officer. And he's like, oh yeah, dude, cool. Yeah, that's on the list. Great. You qualify for that, whatever. Circled it, did the whole thing, waited a few months, kept going back and forth. And then it got to be like February. And he's like, hey, if you don't sign for a job now, you'll get kicked out of the whole program. And I'm like, what do you mean get kicked out? I was like, I have to do this. There's no other option. And he's like, well, you can go in open mechanical and do this or that. And you have all these other jobs. I was like, but I want to be a sensor operator. And he's like, well, you can't do that. So I was like,
this was all 2015.
So now you're at the beginning of 2015, so like February.
Yeah. Okay.
So I didn't know what job I was going to do, right? So signed open mechanical, and I was like, I want to be anything but a mechanic. So engineer, whatever. I was cool with. So we go March 14th, I left for basic. Go to basic. Everybody was like, oh man, it's gonna be your worst time, like all this other stuff. It was the easiest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
No shit.
Oh yeah.
Everybody just fucking exaggerates it, or what?
As far as like Air Force stuff, like I'm sure Army, Marines, all obviously more difficult, and it's longer, right? But like I was told when to wake up, when to run, when to shave my face, when to use the restroom, all that stuff. So like, what was I ever going to complain about? I couldn't be late if I was told what to do, So like, that's why maybe like today in my life, like I'm so used to like somebody saying, hey, do this. And I'm like, okay. Easy.
I mean, even for example, today.
Yeah.
10 o'clock.
Yeah. I was here.
You're here at 10 o'clock.
Ready to rock, baby.
Yeah,
ready to rock the cock out. But so it was just like that. So and nobody at that time, the week before, maybe a week or 2 weeks before I got there, they had an incident where an airman, they were making him run PT up and down the stairs. And he fell down the stairs and he broke both his femurs, right?
My leg!
So when I got there, they had put new MTI tools, meaning that they can only make us do certain things. And they couldn't get within 12 inches of us. They couldn't raise their voice above a certain level. Couldn't make us do push-ups, sit-ups, nothing. So the whole time I'm there, they're like, hey, you can do push-ups, you know, at your own time. So I'm like, I'm not doing them.
Yeah.
Like kick rocks and eat applesauce, dude. I'm not doing that. And there was like pull-up bars everywhere, and they couldn't tell us to do anything. So one day we're running around the track, getting ready for our PT test, right? So we're running around, you know, doing other things. There's like sprints, all this other stuff. Well, we're running, and all of a sudden this girl falls out. Whoop. Like, I mean, hits the...
Typical.
Oh, dude. There was no kitchen nearby, dude. It was way over there, another 200 yards, and she fell out before, dude. So
what did y'all eat that day? Like,
nothing. Nothing. We had MREs that day, dude. We couldn't have nothing to eat. No sausage in the morning, nothing, man. So she falls out, and like the MTIs keep telling us to run, right? So I come back around the whole lap, so another 400 meters, right? So probably 2 minutes to get there, and she's still just laying there, and they're like, hey, just keep running. And so we keep running, and we're like literally going around this girl. They're doing CPR. Ambulance comes across the track, and then once the ambulance got there, they were like, hey, y'all go away. So we go and stand away, and then we didn't hear anything about it the rest of the day. The next morning we wake up, chaplain comes in, and he's like, hey, Airman blank, you know, rest her soul. She passed away.
No shit.
She had I guess a heart attack or something wrong with her heart, you know. So we didn't find out till later, almost when we graduate, that she had like a pre-existing heart condition. The Air Force didn't catch, you know, stuff like that. And shout out to that girl. Don't know her name, but hell yeah. Her only existing family member was her grandma. So she got like her big payout, you know, and stuff like that. And then she got E5. Her grandma got E5 pay for the rest of her grandma's life, you know, for her doing that, you know. But it was just so weird that it was like, we're literally just, I saw the girl before.
Do you know her age?
Probably 20.
No shit.
Yeah, young.
And you, 2015.
I was 21.
Yeah.
I wasn't even 21 yet. I was 20.
So same age.
You see
somebody fall out.
And I mean, just boom,
age.
hit the ground, you know.
That's
and
wild.
you don't think about it until like the dude comes up and says, like, yeah, she passed away. And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh shit.
What the hell? So, you know, graduate basic. From there, then I have to go to school for my job, right? So in between that, there's like a week-long period where you learn how to be a regular person instead of trainee, right?
Oh, no shit. Because are you like, your mind's trained to
you're just so conditioned to just do certain things and like listen and all this other stuff. And I'm not saying it's like over the top, but it's just like you get a week to like figure out, okay, this is like what real life is versus what I just went through.
You're taken away from normal society for X amount of time.
So we still had to wake up, do PT, and then for the rest of the day we'd be able to go do whatever we want on base. So that's what happened while in basic. And I mean, there's another 100 things that can happen for there, but from there, you go to tech school. So tech school is where you learn how to do your particular job. And while I was in basic, I found out I was going to be aerospace ground equipment. So that was my like AFSC. While I'm in there, I learned that. So I got 91 on my ASVAB, and this requires a 32 to get in that job. So I'm like, how did I get the lowest job and have this high stuff, you know? Yeah. So, and it was probably because like I put on my resume, whatever it is, your dream sheet, that like what certifications you have, and I had like CAT certifications and stuff. So they were like, oh, well, he's gonna be a good mechanic. Well, it worked out obviously now, but I didn't want to do that. So then I found that out, went to tech school, finished that whole 2-week period, which was a kind of a blink in the eye after being gone for like 8 months, you know. Get to North Dakota, Harley stays back. I mean, dude, I got arrested while I was up there.
No shit.
But military. So
you got arrested by them, like?
Yeah, on base. So we have these exercises where we see how fast we can load weapons and all this other stuff. So we have new bases we have other bases that will fly in and like help us out, right? Yeah. So they have a big red, like pretty much like pentagon around the aircraft. And you can't cross that line because it's a no-low zone. So, like, you can't go across it alone, and you have a single entry point in it. So you always had to have somebody with you. And you check your line badge and all this other stuff, make sure you're on the orders, all this other stuff. Well, he walks across it without talking to the guy, right? So I'm talking to the guy in the front, you know, getting my line badge, everything. I don't see this happen. So he crosses the line, which is a huge deal. Yeah. You wouldn't think it's just a red painted line on the ground. Whatever.
Rules
are rules. Found that out the hard way. So I you know, do the right thing, whatever, sign, yep, cool. You're like, hey, we're good, yep. Go in, and then he's already in, and I'm like, how'd you get here? You know? And so we look at each other, and then we look back, and security forces just running, dude. I mean, sprinting toward us. I was like, oh,
you
no.
motherfucker.
I was like, we're so screwed. Because we're the only two actually in the zone. So, like, when they have a problem with the trailer that's, like, loading the weapons, we're the people they call to, like, fix it. So now you have live nuclear weapons on this trailer, and they're like, hey, you need to make sure that this doesn't fall, do this, that, whatever, like, fix it, do some electrical work, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So it was, like, high pressure. Right, and then you have these dudes running at you. So you tools in your hand, they're running across you. They won't even cross that red line. They're standing outside that red line, yelling at you, "Get on the ground, get on the ground." You're like, oh my god. So like, imagine 5 dudes with fucking M4s, just, hey, get on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No problem. You know. So like, I'm doing it slowly, you know, and my face is like this from the ground because it's frozen. Now imagine ice, right? Yeah. It's negative whatever degrees outside. And I lay down, and they're like, put your face on the ground, and I'm like, I'm good, you know, like, no, and they're like, put your face on the ground. So then, and it, like, you just melt to the ice, you know, so like, I'm just stuck to the ice, and they come and they like do the whole thing. And then it turned out the base commander, I guess at the time, was there because it was a big problem that we were trying to fix. And I guess he told that guy, hey, just go in and fix it. So he took it as, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to walk in and fix it. So luckily, that dude was there. And, dude, this dude looked straight like Superman, like Clark Kent.
No
like,
shit.
Looked exactly like him. I was like, that's who I would want leading my base. Like, that's my guy, you know? Yeah. And, so he was really cool about it. He was like, hey, let him go. You know, so I told the guy to do that. He's like, I know it's the rules, all this other shit, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting there handcuffed while the other guy's just getting to walk for free. You know, and I'm like, what
that
about
fucking guy? I don't even know him.
Yeah, I'm like, what about?
If we got to send somebody to jail.
Yeah, send that guy. You know, I'm like, hands behind my back. Like, I'm like, what the fuck did I do? You know, I was like, I did everything right. He's like, oh, no, y'all are good. So we got unhandcuffed and all this other stuff. Then we had to go, imagine that. Re-enter back to the same exact area and go fix the damn trailer that we were about to do in the first place. You know, so
like, all right, y'all good. Back of the line.
Yeah, back of the line. You know, so then we had to go and fix the trailer and get it working and shit. But yeah, it was an epic time to say the least. Nothing that I thought it would be. Like, imagine like coming from down the bayou and be like, now there's nuclear weapons. Like that was there wasn't like any. That. Like split of time. It was just like, hey, now you're super important, although you're like only at E3 in the Air Force. Like, America's view on national security is so skewed of that. Like, can we deter everything? I'd say more than likely, right?
Yeah.
But like, you have dudes who are getting fucked up, you know, the night before they go into work, and then they're just holding nuclear warheads, you know, just walking around doing all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And they have no idea, you know, like the American populace has no idea that these 21-year-old, 22-year-olds
still just like me, a few months later getting fucked up at the bar. I'm still gonna get fucked up at the bar, but I'm touching nukes now. I'm transporting the nukes.
Yeah, so it's like I never had like any
Nothing
actual
changed about me.
I'm
just handling nukes.
My job got so much more important, but I'm also getting paid way less.
And that's why I continuously get fucked.
Yeah. It's just a way of life, dude. And it's so crazy. Like, just everybody, at least that I know in the Air Force, was like so like-minded. It's like, yeah, dude, the struggle bus is real.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like we always hung out at each other's houses, got drunk, did whatever. And it was just like, hey, what are you cooking tonight? and then we would go eat there, and then like I would cook and whatever, people would come over. Yeah, it was just like, dude, every night it was just like just going to somebody else's house. Didn't have kids yet, you know, and other people's had kids, and I was just whatever, it didn't matter, you know. So it was like a weird thing to be like going from everything I knew to like a whole new family that I didn't know. Yeah. And then was treated probably better up there than like by people I had no idea. Yeah. Every walk of life, every nationality, didn't matter, you know. So it was like really cool to like be a part of that and like have no pre-existing judgment of who I was in high school versus who I am now. No one knew. It didn't matter. You could tell them whatever. Whatever story you wanted to tell you, they'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah. You know, it is what it is. Yeah. But it's like,
it doesn't affect me.
Yeah, it's like just I never lied about who I was.
Carefully.
Yeah, but so that's when I found out. So to get into the area, you have to go through like security, right? So you have to put your handprint, eyes, put a little pin in, all this other stuff. Well, on my line badge, it has certain numbers. I don't know how much I can talk about that, but the numbers correlate to shit. Okay. Right? So some numbers mean something, some numbers mean something else, right? Well, the guys were asking me that are already in there, what does that number mean? And I'm like, I don't know. Why don't you have it? Yeah. And they're like, I don't know. But we don't have it, and we have most access. And I'm like, well, why do I have this?
Yeah, why does my number say 42069?
Yeah, whatever it is. You know, let's say the number is 19. So you might have like 1, 4, 7, and it's all the way listed to whatever the highest number is. And let's say I had 19, but they didn't. They had 20, 24, and 25. So I had 19, 20, 24, 25, whatever. And they were like, well, we don't know what that means. I'm like, okay, well, we've got to find that out. So why do I have more access than you? So I want to figure out what I have access to. Let me go fucking look for that shit, right? Yeah. So we're going to look for generators that we had to service. You know, do whatever on it, check the ohms, whatever it was. So we're going to all the shops, and they're like, hey, it might be in that other building. Well, we were never allowed to go to this particular building. We were told to stay away from there, don't go on that side, don't cross these lines, whatever. So we're like, well, we got to find a generator, so let's cross the line. You know? So me and a guy named Blake Brown, OBB, fucking, he has a matching tattoo with me of the dripping wet flip-flop on my ass. No shit. Yeah. So he was just ruthless, man. He was just like, yeah, dude, let's do it. And I was like, fuck yeah. So I drive the van, we go across the line, and we're waiting. Like, what's going to happen? Yeah. So we go into the little building, we knock on the door. It's electronic locks. It unlocks, right? We go inside. Then we see the red line of destiny inside that building. We're like, I'm looking at Blake. I'm like, well, what do we do? And then the guy is on the other side. He's like, do y'all have number 19, whatever number was? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, cross the line. And I'm looking at him like, I don't know, dude. I was like, oh, dude, we're getting fucked up. I was like, this is a setup. So we cross the line, and then we show him our line badge. He's like, oh, yeah, you're good. What are y'all here for? And I was like, oh, shit. Well, we're looking for a generator. He's like, oh, it's going to be in this room down this hallway. Go check that out. So go down the hallway. Now, if you can imagine just a long hallway of like jail cell, like steel doors, like the whole way. And I'm like, where are we at? Never been here before. 22 years old, telling this guy, you know, what to do. He's older than me at this point. And I'm like, what are we gonna do? You know? So he's like, go down to the fourth door, knock on it twice, you know, they'll open it. So go down to the fourth door on the left, knock on it twice, slides the door. He's like, state your name and business. And I was like, you know, Airman Blanchard, looking for a generator. And he's like, closes the window, and then all these locks, clink, 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 slides. And I walk in, and a nuclear fucking missile is just there, dude. No. Oh, yeah. So I'm looking at Blake, I'm like, I was like, oh my God. People crawling all over it. Like
19 is cool as fuck.
Dude, like people crawling all over it, like putting shit together and stuff. And I'm like, hey, we're not supposed to be here. You know, he's like, yeah, but we got to find a generator. I was like, there's no way it's in here. Yeah. You know? So he's like, all right, yeah, it's over there, back there in this thing. I was like, well, you're not going to walk us to it? He's like, no, it's back there. You're good. He's like, you got the number. You're good. You know? Yeah. And I'm like, oh, yeah. We're good. So me and him are just like amazed, right?
Yeah.
So it's like all these super nerds just literally fucking making a nuclear missile, like doing all this shit. And we're like just amazed, like just walking by, looking at all this shit. And we go around and we're like looking for an actual, we were trying to find it. We never found it. Then we found a bunch of stuff we really can't talk about, but it was like, dude, it was just so crazy that they were just like, oh yeah, dude, you're good. And I was like, this is our defense. Like, you have no idea if I was really looking for a generator versus I was literally here to sabotage some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They just let us
You
free
got that
will.
number, though.
Yeah, and whatever the number was, apparently we were supposed to have. But me and him had that on our little tags, you know? So it was like none of the other guys. So when we got back to the shop, we were like, hey, do y'all have, 19 if that's the number?
Yeah.
And they were like, we looked at all of them. None of them else had it. It was just him and I.
And then they're like, what is it?
Yeah, what does that mean? And I was like, dude, you'll
wish.
never know. Yeah, you fucking
wish,
pussies.
you
You'll
loser.
never fucking know, So we're like trying to explain it, like you obviously can't have your phones or lighters or cigarette. Like you can't have nothing in there. They check off of that before you go in there. So it was just so fucking, like, I wish I could take a picture, like that mental picture I have of like these dudes like crawling around it, like sci-fi movies, like with smoke and shit. Like that's fucking as real as it gets, like just like CO2, like gas, just like coming, dude. It was fucking incredible. Big? 40 feet probably. Sticking out the top. So I don't know what was below, but it went through the floor. So like there's more, under there, but like we never got to that. We never got to the underside.
That's how big they are?
Yeah, that's the intercontinental ballistic missile. So that's the ones that come out the ground. So that's all over farmers' land in Minot and all this other stuff that they have like a little fence. If you ever go to Minot, you might see like a little chain link fence randomly in somebody's cornfield.
Yeah.
Nuclear weapon under there.
Yeah.
And it's all heavily guarded. It's all like tracked, everything like that, cameras, all this other stuff.
That's the fucking land you gotta buy.
Can you imagine being a farmer, long ass day at work.
Oh,
you sweating, all this other stuff, herding your cattle, doing all that stuff.
Got my sugar cane. Fucking.
Well, ain't no sugar cane in North Dakota. Bye-bye.
Yeah, boy, I'm just.
There's more cows in North Dakota than people. Check it, fact check it. It's real. But imagine, you sweating all day, did your whole thing, got your soybeans all planted, get back to the house, I'm gonna take a shower.
Homeland Security come fucking knock on the door.
No, not even that, dude. You're like, got your big old glass, you worked so hard for this your whole life, 40 years, 50 years. You're looking at your pasture, all your corn, all your soybeans are set. You have your little chain link fence out in the corner because they bought that land, whatever. You're eating your steak. Just rock. Oh, the whole thing's just gone. Cows are dead, everything
cows
like
get
that.
too close to the fence.
Dude, imagine that, like you're cutting into your steak and you're just looking like, and then you got to think to yourself too, because you know what that is.
Yeah.
So where are we sending that?
Yeah.
Oh
shit.
So you get on the phone.
Where they at?
Yeah. You get on the phone. You're like, oh my God, Deborah. Like, the world's ending, all this other stuff. So imagine, like, I can't imagine, like, you're just sitting there and you just holy shit, the world is ending right now.
Yeah.
Like you would be the first person to know.
Yeah.
Because like if we're sending that shit, we have a bigger issue.
Shit coming.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's fucking wild, dude.
Time to be alive. And then went to Wichita Falls as an instructor for my job, and that's where I found out I didn't want to be in the Air Force anymore. And then went to North Carolina. That's where I joined the reserves. So I'm still in the reserves now. So I fly back and forth. So I actually leave next week for 5 days to go up there. And then worked for a crane training company for a little while over there, and then now I work for CAT now. But yeah, it's been an epic journey up into the.
That's wild, man. That is a life.
Oh yeah.
That is a fucking
it's
journey
so much
from
life.
21 to now that you are
just turned 32.
Just turned 32.
Yeah, and there's so much I fit into that little area. Just even over the last 3 years, just being in the reserves, like traveling for that and stuff, like the adventures we've had on there is just. I mean,
what brought you back down here?
So Harley was, I guess, kind of like, homesick, if you would, if that's a term.
Dude, that's a fucking cool ass journey for the last 11 years.
Yeah.
And still going with it with the reserves. That's a lot of life you lived.
Yeah, and
just to like you said, working in the oil field and then being told, hey, we're laying off a bunch of people and you on the chopping block.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I'm going to the Air Force. And you're like, all right, you can keep your job until then.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck,
that's the
I
decision.
gotta go.
Yeah, that's a decision. I had no thought of joining the military before that exact moment.
But aren't you glad you did?
Oh, yeah. Like, clearly that set me up. Like, I got to go to school, things like that I would have never been able to afford. Rather, you know, like, it gave me I guess kind of like an outlet also off of the bayou to go and do this technically for free while signing a line that I would die for the country, you know. But it gave me an outlet to get out, experience other shit, and then I got a degree while I was there. So I can't complain about that either, because I would have never gotten that without joining the Air Force, because I would have never justified paying for it, you know, which is a whole crock of shit anyway, but we can get into that if we want to. But yeah, like, it gave me different avenues and different perspectives on life that it's just like only here matters. Yeah, only here matters. Yeah. Dog, like there's, and that's just the talking about world out there. Yeah, we're talking about just the United States here. Yeah. There's so much more out there, and everybody's like, oh man, well, this guy fucking fucked my cousin and all of that. I'm gonna fight that dude, whatever. Yeah. Dude, move to Europe.
Fucking meet me at Happy Games. I'm gonna fuck you up, bro.
Meet me at Happy Games and I'll fucking end your world.
Should I say thank you for your service?
Don't do it. I'll leave right now. I'll leave right now.
I've been waiting to say that all fucking day.
Yeah, well, congratulations. You got it. Thank you for your support.
Yeah, no problem. My absolute appreciation that you hauled our nuclear weapons.
Drunk as fuck.
I feel more safe than motherfuckers like you be touching.
Yeah, that's right. You know, because like you don't want a fucking nerd who just follows the rules doing
it. If you getting fucking number 19, I don't know who the fuck's getting it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what blows my mind is that, like, how did me end up with that?